Switching from traditional note-taking to using Anki to study for the USMLE in medical school was genuinely the best decision I ever made. I managed to study more in less time, and my grades went up at the same time. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can install the Anki deck and how you can use Anki in medical school. I'm also going to show you the settings that I use personally and also how to use it alongside your other USMLE resources. So sit down, grab yourself a hot drink and some snacks, because this is going to be a good one. So the first thing you're going to need to do is download Anki. Go to Google and type Anki, and the first thing that comes up is Anki. And if you scroll down here, you will see the different download options. You get downloads for Windows and Mac. I recommend that you download the previous stable release. So click that link and follow the process to download Anki. Anki updates tend to break the previous add-ons you were using. Download the previous stable release and don't update your Anki for as long as possible. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to need to download the Anki deck, and you need to search up Anki V11 Anki Overhaul Step 1, Step 2, version 11. You should be able to scroll down to the comments here, and you need to find this guy's comment with the links for the step decks with media. So basically use either this mega link or either of these Google Drive links, click on them, and you should be able to install the deck. This deck is really amazing. It contains everything you'll need to pass Step 1 and Step 2 for the USMLE. Pictures from first aid, pathoma, sketchy, are already on the flashcards. Okay, so when the file has been downloaded, you should get something that looks like this, anki.apkg, and you just need to double click that file and it should open up inside Anki. You'll get the option to create a profile, so you just need to click add and write a name for your profile. It can be Chris, doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose test 1 just to make things easy, and we're going to open it up. So you should get this pop-up, notes found in file 3000 or 34,705, and notes added from file 34,705. And these are all the cards that you've just downloaded. Great. So let's click close. What's absolutely game-changing about this Anki deck is it has everything you're going to need for Step 1 and for Step 2 nicely tagged by resource. As you're studying, you can go through and unsuspend the cards that you want to use, and hopefully you'll never forget anything that you've studied ever again. Just like you shouldn't forget about my weekly newsletter, The IMG Journey, where I share secret tips and insights that I don't share on this YouTube channel. Some IMGs have said to me that the resources I share are really useful to them, so I thought that was pretty cool. You might want to check it out. Okay, so this is your deck. You also have these Anki note types deck. You can just delete this deck. It's not useful. Step 1, Step 2, and underneath all of these you have your resources. You want to click browse or hit B, and this is going to allow you to browse all the cards in your deck. So if I go to Anki, you can see this is all the cards in my deck. The first thing you're going to want to do is suspend all of these cards or deactivate them. You want to click Anki up here on the top left, then you want to press Control or Command A, and that should highlight all the cards in the deck. You right click and click Toggle Suspend, or you can press Command J. Go to Tools and click Manage Note Types. Click the Anki Overhaul, and I want you to click Cards. Select Back Template. Now you'll see there's an error here. So clearly there's something wrong with the Anki V11 card type. So what I'm going to do is give you code that you'll see in the description, and I want you to paste what I have in the description into this box here. This is what it should look like afterwards. Then click Save. Next thing you're going to do is create your custom incorrects deck. You guys might remember from my 4-resource method guide to studying for the USMLE that UWorld is a massive part of studying for this exam. When you're done reviewing the practice questions, you need a way to learn from and remember your mistakes. So first thing we're going to need to do is create our incorrects deck. So we're going to create the deck and call it incorrects. Let's say I get a question wrong on glaucoma. I want to add a card. Glaucoma is increased pressure in the eye. Great. So I'm testing myself on the eye part. So I select the word and I click this button here, close deletion, or I can do Command Shift C. So now you'll see it's surrounded by these funny brackets. Change the card type to Anki Overhaul. Change the deck to incorrects. You have to add a tag. The tag that I like to add is hashtag incorrects. Now you don't have to add this tag. You can put anything you want in here. I like to keep things neat. And click add. We have one new card. And if I click, we should be able to study. Glaucoma is increased pressure in the I. This process of creating your own new cards is great, but there's a quicker way. The first thing I do when I get a question wrong is I will go into the Anki deck and I will search the concept that I got wrong, and I'll see if there's already a card made for it. So I'll search, let's say, inguinal hernia. I got a question wrong on inguinal hernias. You can use the arrow keys and you can, basically the idea is you want to find cards that will help you get the question right again in the future. Let's say I forgot that direct hernias go through Hasselbalch's triangle. I'm going to unsuspend this card. So essentially we've activated this card now, but we also have to add the tag. You can right click, add tags, or Command Shift A. And again, we want to add the same tag, hashtag incorrects. Yeah, cool. You'll see it's been unsuspended and it's in the Anki deck. But we have a problem here. It's really important that we prioritize the cards that we got wrong in New World. If I unsuspend every single card in this deck, let's say I've studied everything, you can see now I've got 16 cards here, but if I click and I study them, it's not going to give me the incorrect card that I just unsuspended. We need to find a way to prioritize and gather all of your incorrect cards together so that you can study them and make sure that you're studying your incorrects. To do that, we're going to create a filtered deck. You can press F on your keyboard. Essentially, you want to type the tag of your incorrects tag that you just created. Tag, hashtag incorrects. Limit it to 100. I like to do order due. Reschedule the cards based on my answers in this deck. And then we click build. Now, you'll see that this filtered deck has 2 cards. Glaucoma has increased pressure in the eye. So this is the custom card that we created. And the hernia card, which is the card that we pulled out of the Anki deck. So you can see that filtered decks are a great way to gather together all of your incorrects and make sure that you're prioritizing studying those incorrect cards. And what you can do is rename this hashtag incorrects. Just make sure you remember, ideally we want to find the concept we got wrong inside the Anki deck and unsuspend that card and add a tag and then study it that way. But if you really can't find the concept you got wrong, then you can create your own custom cards. You don't really need to understand what each of these settings do. You can just copy the settings that I'm using and it will work out fine for you. If you do want to get a more in-depth understanding of the Anki settings, I'm going to leave a fantastic video by Zach Kiley down in the description below the like button. But honestly, if you just want to copy my settings and use Anki normally, you can, no problem. If you go to Anki and then click Preferences, you can click Night Mode, which will turn everything dark. I think you should click Show Next Review Time above the answer buttons. Show remaining card count during review. So whilst you're reviewing the cards, it will show you how many you have left. Personally, nowadays I like to deactivate this because I'm shifting away from studying a certain number of cards. I like to study for a certain period of time, like let's say 4 hours. You want to turn on the Anki 2.1 scheduler. You can decide if you want to see your new cards before your reviews. I like to get rid of my new cards first, so show new cards before. Next day starts at 4 hours past midnight, that's fine. Learn ahead limit 20 minutes. I like to set this to 0. The learn ahead limit basically means you're allowed to study a card before Anki was going to give you that card. I don't really like to mess with the Anki algorithm too much, so I keep this one at 0. Network, you don't have to change anything here. Backups, you don't have to change anything here either. This will reset any cards in learning. Click yes. Changes will take effect after you restart Anki. Great. When you sync for the first time, click sync. You'll be offered to create an account. So you should click this link and it will take you to Anki web where you can sign up for an account, which I recommend you do because it will keep backups of your cards online on the cloud. And you'll also have to sign up for an account if you're going to use Anki on mobile. There are Anki preferences for all of Anki, and there are also preferences that you can set for specific decks. So we're going to do that now. First, what I'm going to do is move this deck under Anki so it looks a bit nicer. Then I'm going to click this little cogwheel here and I'm going to click options. You can create different options groups if you want, but I just keep it on the default group. The step is the next time you're going to see that card. Right now, if I click spacebar, I'm going to see that card again in 1 minute, and then I'm going to see that card again in 10 minutes. Now the settings that I recommend, 15 minutes for the first time, 1440, which comes out to 1 day, 4320, which is 3 days. I like to show the new cards in order added. I don't recommend you study more than 100 new cards a day. If you're doing 4 or 5 hours of Anki every single day, you probably aren't going to be able to study more than 100 a day. If you find that you're not finishing your reviews every day, you can lower this number. Right now I'm studying for step 2 and I have this at 50. I set these next two to 6 and then 8 days respectively. The starting ease is 250% and very related new cards till the next day. So what this means is if I have 2 closed deletions on one card, it won't show me the same card on the same day. I'll show you what I mean. My name is Christopher. And I'm going to add a closed deletion for name, and I'm going to add one for Christopher. My name is Christopher. It's given me the same card again. I just saw the previous card, so I can remember that my name is Christopher. We're going to set maximum reviews every single day to 9999999, which is the biggest possible number. The reason why is when you're studying Anki, you have to do all of your reviews every single day. We don't want to be limiting the number of cards that Anki is going to give us. You can set the easy bonus to 140. You can keep the interval modifier at 100. Maximum interval, this is the longest time that you'll be able to set a card to. So if you keep pressing easy on a card and Anki wants you to see it in a year, that's a problem, because if you have an exam in 6 months, you might want to see that card again. So we can limit the next time you're going to see that card. I recommend 240 days, which comes out to about 8 months. And we're going to keep the hard interval at 120%. And again, we're going to bury related reviews until the next day. Lapses, we can set the lapses to something similar, 20 and 1440. A lapse is when you get a card that you've studied a lot, which turns into a mature card, and then you get that mature card wrong. I have my lapse interval set to 10%, minimum interval 3, leech threshold you can keep the same, and we want to keep leech action to tag only. I like to set the ignore timer to 180, just in case I think about a question for more than 3 minutes. I like to keep the answer timer on, and it will show me a little clock that tells me how long I've spent on a particular card. And you can keep these two checked. Description, there's nothing there. Now for personally my favorite topic, which is add-ons. These are addictive. They're like crack cocaine. There's loads of add-ons out there and you'll never be done. You'll constantly find new add-ons that you want to use and tinker around with. I'm going to show you very quickly how you can install an add-on yourself. Click Get Add-ons and you're going to have an option to install a code. Click Browse Add-ons, or you can just search Browser Add-ons Anki. Now you can see there's loads and loads of add-ons here. We are going to install True Retention add-on. So I'm going to search for True Retention. All this does is basically give you more detailed card stats. To be honest, I don't really know how it works. All I really know is that you want to keep your true retention, which is this statistic here, between 80 to 90%. I learned that from an Anki video. I really don't know why, but it's just something I do. Basically, you take this code, copy it to the clipboard, and then you want to paste it into Anki and click OK. And that's it. It's installed successfully. When you restart Anki, you should have it installed. Press Shift and I click Stats. I can see my true retention. This isn't the be all and end all, but I'm just going to give you a list of add-ons that I really recommend. The True Retention add-on, you should definitely get the Better Tags add-on. This is a paid one through Glutaminate. If you can't get that one, you should get the Colorful Tags, Hierarchical Tags add-on. You need to get the Background Image Fast Bar and Image Occlusion Enhanced. These are kind of your essential add-ons. If you just want to copy me and use the exact same add-ons, you can just copy this list and download everything that I'm using. Speaking of add-ons, I'm going to be making a more in-depth video with all my favorite add-ons, which ones I think are essential and which ones I could probably do without. So get subscribed because you won't want to miss it. If you guys made it this far in the video, make sure you leave an avocado emoji down in the comments to let me know that you made it this far. So, how do you actually use Anki alongside your other resources? When you watch a Boards and Beyond video or a sketchy video, how do you study that inside of Anki to make sure that you never forget it? Well, I'm going to show you how. Let's say you've watched your first ever sketchy video. You'll hit B to go into the browser. On the left, you'll see the different tags and they're sorted by hierarchy. So you can see hashtag AK step 1. So you click that, then open Sketchy Micro, Bacteria. Let's say you've watched the Staph aureus video. These are all the cards that cover Staph aureus. You can see they have the sketchy video as well as something else, and they also have screenshots from first aid. So we need to select all of these by pressing Command A, and then we need to unsuspend or activate the cards by clicking Command J. Okay, so everything's been unsuspended. Now if we hit escape and go back, you can see 39 new cards to study. Click on Anki and hit spacebar. So you'll see at the bottom, you have 4 options. we have again, hard, good, and easy. So it's extremely important that you know which one of these buttons to press. So each of these buttons will be linked to a number. Again is linked to 1 on the keyboard, hard is 2, good is 3 or spacebar, and then 4 is easy. If you come across a card and you have no idea what the answer is, you have to click again. If you see a card and it's kind of normal difficulty, let's say you take between 0 and 15 seconds, then click good. You have to be really honest with yourself. If it was on the tip of your tongue and you press spacebar and you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's not a correct answer, you have to press again. If you see a card and you knew it within 2 seconds, you don't even have to think about it, I will select easy. If I know the answer and I get to the answer eventually, but if it takes me over a minute and a half, then I will press hard, but it's less than 1% of the time. It's really dangerous because when you press hard, you're permanently altering the difficulty of that card. So forever, you're gonna see that card more often than you would see other cards. So you can understand that if you press hard for too many cards, you're going to end up with a much larger number of cards to review than someone else would be. I've seen people completely destroy their Anki decks by pressing hard too many times, so please be extremely careful. I'll give you an idea of what my schedule looked like. Every morning I would wake up and I would do my reviews, and I would do all of the new cards, or as many of the new cards that I'd set for myself as possible. Then I would go away to my clinical rotations, I would come back in the evening and I would do my UWorld practice questions, and maybe I'd watch a few sketchy videos. If you want to check out how I scheduled the new information and which resources study when, you should check out this video, which I did on how to study with CramFighter. The third step is to unsuspend or tag the incorrects and any of the new videos that I've watched. And then the next day I would study that new content. Another thing you have to know is I will continuously edit and upgrade these cards. If I have a thought, or if I experience something in the hospital, or if I read something in a book, I will add it to the extra comments section of the card. And every time I answer a question, I try and practice the Feynman technique. His technique basically is you have to be able to explain the concept behind the card to a 5-year-old. And if you can do that, then you really truly understand the concept. Some cards are more memorizable, but for the majority of cards, really try and do that. If you have any questions about setting up the Anki deck, make sure you leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys all later. Cheers.